The sea is full of hundreds of unique creatures and mysteries, but there are some concepts that have not been proven yet by anyone alive. The existence of these mythical creatures is always debated throughout history, but they have been talked about for thousands of hours and are consistently featured in literature and entertainment. With so many creatures to talk about, we've decided to make a list for the top 10 mythical sea creatures that are commonly brought up throughout the entire world and may or may not be lurking in the deepest depths of the sea. Before we start, please make sure you support us and subscribe to our channel. After that, hit the bell icon and never miss a video again. Number 10. Yaku-Runa. The Yaku-Runa originate from the Amazonian legends. They are water dwellers who vaguely resemble human beings in appearance, with the biggest difference being the fact that they are incredibly hairy, have deformed feet, and some interpretations describe their heads as turned backwards. An interesting thing about them is that they live in beautiful cities underwater, which greatly resemble the advancements human civilization has made too. As with most sea creatures though, the Yaku-Runa are known for abducting human beings, especially women, and then forcefully converting them into one of their own, both physically and mentally. It is also believed by some that the reflections on top of the sea that we see of our cities are in fact us looking at the Yaku-Runa cities. They are just too deep for us to reach. Number 9. Lernaean Hydra. If you play video games or watch fantasy movies, you must have seen this creature numerous times. It is a sea monster that has dragon-like heads, and the most dangerous thing about it is that every time a head of this monster is cut off, 2 more take its place. In the Greek mythology, the monster was a son of Typhon and Echidna, who were the father and mother of all monsters to exist. After its death at the hand of Hercules, the monster was turned into a constellation simply called Hydra. Number 8. Umibozu. The Umibozu originates from the Japanese mythology and is one of the most terrifying sea creatures from it. Umibozu stays hidden within water and waits for its prey to approach it when they least expect it. When the time is right, the creature suddenly causes a storm and creates waves that terrify the passengers and damage their ships. Then it finally makes its appearance, which is mostly depicted as a dark humanoid figure with scary eyes and smile. If he is spoken to or offended in any way, he asks for the ship to give him a barrel. It then fills the barrel with so much water that it drowns the entire ship, and then the monster claims the souls of the passengers. There is a loophole here though, which is to offer the creature a bottomless barrel. That would make it impossible for it to be filled and provide a bit of chance to the ship's crew to escape. Before we continue with a mystical creature so beautiful Poseidon claimed her, please make sure you like our video to fully support us. Number 7. Skyla. Skyla used to be an average human being, but she was very beautiful. Unfortunately, Poseidon set his eyes on her and claimed her as his own. But this caused Amphitrite to become incredibly jealous, and she cursed the water in which Skyla used to bathe herself, and it turned her into the terrifying sea creature that we know and fear. While there are a few different interpretations of what she turned into, the most commonly agreed upon one is that she remained an attractive woman from the waist up, but the lower half of her body was horribly mutated and had the tail of a serpent and 6 dog heads that accompanied it. They would find and devour men to quench their hunger. In the second interpretation, she is believed to have had 4 eyes, 6 necks, and terrible dog heads with sharp teeth. Whether it's one interpretation or another, she's terrifying in all of them. Number 6. Leviathan. Leviathan is Hebrew in origin and is a gigantic monster that resembles reptilian skin to an extent. It has had many different interpretations as it originated as a part of Christianity at first. In that version, it was a reptilian creature with multiple heads that wanted to devour anything that was created by God and was eventually slain as food to be offered to the Hebrew people. However, the later interpretations within fiction and literature depict it as more of a sea dragon that menacingly destroys anyone that stands in its way. Whichever version we follow, the Leviathan is one of the most influential sea monsters that we all know and love. Number 5. Kraken. Octopuses can be pretty dangerous at times, so it's only natural that a sea creature that resembles them exists too. The Kraken is one of the most well-known sea monsters who is usually associated with the coast of Norway, terrorizing any sailor that approaches it on the sea. The creature releases bits of its previous meals into the sea so that other creatures flock to it, and when enough of them have gathered, it swallows them all inside. This also baits sailors as they go towards the spots that have too many fishes together, and eventually they would unknowingly be stealing the Kraken's meals. As a consequence, the Kraken would form a whirlpool that would suck in the ships and tear them apart while it devoured the sailors afterwards. Number 4. Jormungandr. Jormungandr originates from the Norse mythology and is known as the Midgard serpent, as well due to how incredibly long and deadly it is, covering a very large distance whenever it travels on Earth. It is the son of the giant Loki and is a crucial part of the Ragnarok event. For a long time in its life, it kept its own tail within its mouth, and the prophecy claimed that when it let its tail go, it would mark the beginning of Ragnarok. This eventually made it an enemy of the gods, and when the event finally began, Thor fought and slayed the monster, but died succumbing to the poison released by its body. Number 3. Sirens. Originating from the Greek mythology, sirens are one of the most dangerous sea creatures and have been feared by thousands of different generations, many believing them to be the cause of countless sailors that never returned home. While their appearances are interpreted in different ways, there are several consistent details. That would be the fact they are incredibly beautiful and have beautiful voices. They use their looks to attract sailors while the song lures them closer, allowing them to find them in the sea and be hypnotized by them. Sometimes they look completely human, sometimes they appear to have a tail. But in both cases, even if it becomes obvious that they are monstrous, the hypnosis from the song makes them irresistible. This is particularly due to the fact that sailors often go months without a woman's touch in their journeys. Once they have their victims close to them, they drag them off to their dens and feast on their flesh until nothing but bones remain. Number 2. Mermaids. Mermaids are perhaps the single most known sea creature in history, as it has even been adapted into children's stories. Originating from folklore, it is a creature that has a normal human body from the waist up, but everything below resembles the skin, body and tail of a fish. They are believed to be a part of every sea of our world, and there is very little difference in the interpretation of their looks. The only difference that does exist is the fact that some people believe they're neutral, while others believe they're evil and use their beauty to find humans to eat, similarly to sirens. Aside from the female mermaids, there is also a myth about male mermaids existing, which are individually known as a merman. However, while there are still random reports of mermaid sightings, mermans are very rarely ever spoken of. Number 1. Chotala. While mermaids are the most known sea creature to all ages, Chotala is the one true sea monster to rule them all, as it is acknowledged by every adult who lives close to a sea and is immensely terrifying. This mythical sea creature was first invented by internationally acclaimed author H.P. Lovecraft, and his interpretation of the creature was that it waits underwater dreaming, and if it ever woke up it would cause destruction that would shake the world. Its appearance differs a bit based on who is drawing it, but the general design usually remains the same, which is that it has a face resembling a monstrous octopus, while some parts of its body have the scaly pattern that you see on dragons. Sometimes it crawls, sometimes it can stand like a human being, and its claws are like a mixture of dragon and human hands. Ultimately, due to its giant size and great destruction capabilities, this creature is greatly feared and used as a story to keep fear intact in the heart of reckless sailors. For if it ever awoke, the world we know may never be the same again. And those were the top 10 mythical sea creatures that the world knows and fears. While the word mythical implies that they are made up, don't be too reckless the next time you go into the sea, or you might find out not every story is built from imagination alone. If you like this video, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and press the bell icon to get updates for our next videos as soon as they are uploaded. We'll see you in the next Top 10 Countdown.